Yes, guys, what's up? So, just a quick video. I follow Adrien Broner on social media, and he posted that he wants to fight. It's not something old. He's always doing stuff like this. He wants to come and beat Amir Khan and Kell Brook in the UK on the same night. He said that he wants to face Manny Pacquiao. He says he wants Marcus Maidana in a rematch, and it got me thinking about something about Keith Thurman, Adrien Broner, and Kell Brook and what they all have in common. And it's this thing that these three fighters, and I think a few other fighters have done it as well, but these three are the ones that spring to mind. These three fighters, they call out different people. You know, they call out the divisions. They call out people. And now, here's the thing, what many people are going to say is that Adrien Broner can call out Manny Pacquiao, but it's not realistic. Why is he calling out someone that he's not going to get? But and you could say the same thing about Kell Brook. Like, Kell Brook's calling out Keith Thurman, but he might be going to fight Jojo Dan. And you could say about Keith Thurman's called out the entire 147 division, but it's not likely that Al Haymond's going to give him the fight. But I combat your argument with this, that for me, if these fighters are calling out these other fighters, do you really think that Adrien Broner is going to say to Al Haymon, right? Al Haymon's going to say, right, Adrien, do you want Kell Brook in the UK? And after he's done all that calling out, you really think Adrien Broner is going to say, nah, I don't want to face him, but he'll take me out, I'm scared of him? You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say shit like that, right? And I don't get into it, and I don't fight for a living. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, I would personally, if someone's 6 foot tall, he's huge, you know what I mean, and if he's got a problem, he wants to fight, I'm never ever gonna say no. Do you know what I mean? I'll never blatantly, I'll never say that no. Like, even though sometimes fighters and people in general, you can be scared inside. You know what I mean? Like, you'll never put that out in front that you're scared. You'll never show it. A real fighter, especially on this level, on the elite level, will have too much pride. And as a man, whether you're an MMA fighter, whether you're a boxer, and just a lot of people in general, the majority of people, if you've got heart, if you're born with heart, right? Because that's something I think you've either got it or you don't. I don't see that. I don't see a man being able to humble himself in that way and say, no, this fighter would beat me, I don't want to fight him, you know? And I don't see Keith Thurman saying that to Al Haymon. I don't see Broner saying that to Al Haymon. I don't see Kell Brook saying that to Eddie Hearn. And I think that this is the reason why you have to respect these fighters for calling out these names in boxing. I think that, I mean, if you think about this, right, now, if, say, Kell Brook called out Keith Thurman, he wants Amir Khan, he wants numerous fights, right? If now he's called all these people out, you really think if Eddie Hearn says to Kell Brook, Kell, right, do you want the Keith Thurman fight? Kell Brook's not gonna say, I'm scared, I don't want it. You know what I mean? I don't see him saying, I'm scared, I don't want it. Now, on the flip side, right, someone like Floyd Mayweather is a little bit different because he doesn't have a promoter. He's self-promoted. He does everything himself. He's got his own team. So to me, what Floyd Mayweather does is he picks his own fights. That's just something, do you know what I mean? You have to go with that. He chooses who he wants to fight. And I think that with Floyd Mayweather, I think although he's got the guts to step in the ring with anyone, but what he does, he makes sound, very clever decisions on who he should fight, which will be the easiest fight for him, which carries the least risk for him, and the biggest reward. And Floyd Mayweather said that openly. And I think that he's an enigma in boxing, but I think that the majority of other fighters, they don't do this thing where they will, I mean, it's like, okay, so let's say Danny Garcia right now. If Danny Garcia, what he says is, it's up to Al Haymon and it's up to my management team. I don't pick the fights, I'm just a fighter. Because maybe Danny Garcia doesn't want to ever be faced with that situation that they ask him, Danny, do you want to fight, I don't know, a very difficult fight for Danny, I don't know, Maidana at 147, do you want to fight Chino? Danny Garcia will say, yeah, I'll take it. He's not going to be scared that you know what I mean? You could tell Danny Garcia, Danny, do you want to fight Deontay Wilder in the heavyweight division? You know, Danny's not going to say no. He's not going to say no. He just won't. But he's not gonna put himself in that. He's not gonna put himself in that position that he's gonna say, "I want Gennady Golovkin at 160 pounds." Do you know what I mean? He just wouldn't do something like that. So, but then again, if it comes to him, these fighters, they like this or like that. They won't say no to anything. They're not scared. But I think it's they don't. Certain fighters don't call people out, and I think that it's an issue in boxing. And I think fighters want to take. There are so many fighters who want to take minimum risk fights, and I think you've got to respect these fighters for calling people out, because once you've called someone out, it just falls back to this thing. Once you've called someone out, you've called them out, and if that person starts shouting your name back. Now, Kell Brook called out Keith Thurman. Now, Keith Thurman starts really hunting for that Kell Brook fight. And Al Heyman says, you know what, let's make him an offer, let's try. And then Keith Thurman's on Twitter and or on Facebook or whatever, and he's like, look, we've offered Kell Brook the fight for X amount of money, we want the Brook fight. You know, and Eddie Hearn says to Kell Brook, Kell, do you want the fight? Kell's not going to say no. Kell's not, you know what I mean? He's not. Fighters don't get scared. That's my point. Okay, so you've got to, and any fighter that calls someone out in today's era, although they might not be guaranteed the fight, you still got to credit them, because, like I said, they won't say no if they are confronted. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments in the section below. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. In a bit.